Hey guys, this is Tantrum V1 with my very new YouTube channel, and this is my very first YouTube video. Now, this channel is going to be dedicated solely to tech news, tech updates, everything that is tech, or mainly the things that interest me in technology. So today I'd like to talk about two different operating systems. They're both mobile operating systems, and they both are doing quite well. I think you can guess the two I'm talking about. One of them is the iPhone 4 operating system, iOS 4.1, and the other one is the Android operating system, which is Froyo 2.2. Now these two operating systems are quite different, yet they're the same as well. They're both touchscreen interface operating systems. I believe iPhone OS is based on Unix, it's based on Mac OS 10, and Froyo is based on Linux, which is a free movement that started way back a long time ago, where a couple of guys got together and said, we'll make something similar to Unix, but it'll be free. And that's what happened, and that's how Linux came into being, and that's how Android started as well, even before it was eaten up by Google, the big monster. So, yes, Android versus iOS. I'm going to start with the things that I like about Android and the things that I like about iOS 4 that is. We'll start with Android. With Android, the thing I love the most is the widgets. I love Android widgets. They're great because I don't have to open different apps just to see what's going on my Facebook, on my Twitter, my email, my messages, SMS. I don't have to look at that. I just flip through my home screen, and and I get all my information right in my face. With iOS 4, they don't have widgets, unfortunately, but hopefully that will be coming in a later release of iOS. Now, when it comes to iOS, the thing that I like best is that it is smooth, it is stable, and it is silky. Not only that, the best thing is that the graphics look just yummy. Those graphics are very sexy. Everything looks really nice, well presented, and easy to use. Nice big buttons everywhere, unlike the Android buttons, which can be rather small and hard to touch. I know that when I use my Android widgets, even though I love these widgets, a lot of these buttons that are on the widgets, like on the Facebook widget, if you know what I'm talking about, those buttons are really, really tiny, and sometimes my thumb misses the button, and instead of going to the very next message, it opens up the whole Facebook app, which takes a second to do, wastes my time, and I don't like things that waste my time. What I don't like about iPhone OS 4 is that, well, unlike Android, iOS 4 is not open. So that means that it is much more difficult for developers to take advantage of what the phone has to offer. It's like an OS that sometimes says yes and sometimes says no. So certain features will not be available to developers, which means that innovation happens at a slower rate perhaps on iPhone as opposed to Android. And again, apps like Layer and Retro Camera, I think they're much more well implemented in Android than they are on the iPhone OS. Apart from that, I think they're both great operating systems with a lot to offer to the user, it depends whether the user is more of a geeky person, I guess, or whether they just want things to work and they don't want to know how or why certain things will not work. What I don't like about iOS is that iOS does not have a home screen per se. When you unlock your phone, your iPhone, what you're presented with is a list of apps, and then it's apps, apps, and more apps. Now this was great when the idea of apps was new, and when apps were the big buzz. But I think it is time for the iPhone to change, because things aren't so much about apps anymore. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with your home screens on the surface kind of information. There's a lot of innovation that can happen in that area, and I don't think using apps as the center, or using a menu of apps as the center experience of a phone is the best way to go anymore. So why can't I just have a button that I press that opens up a list of apps like you do have in Android? Why is it that I don't have a choice but to see my apps? And why is it that a random app like retro camera on the iPhone would take up more space than the actual clock, something that I need to look at now every now and again? So I think that's something that the iPhone will have to change to stay with the competition, especially considering that there is a new OS coming out, Windows Phone 7, which was just announced today in Australia time, and that's going to be coming on Telstra as well. So it's going to be available to the mass Australian public. So I think the iPhone's going to have big competition on that area as well. Even though in Australia Android's not that big yet, it is building up in speed. So you've got the competition consists of iOS, Android, Windows Phone 7, as well as Palm OS. I think it's Web OS, which has, well, HP's yet to release some news on what's happening with Palm, but surely there'll be a phone coming out with Palm OS definitely now because of Windows Phone 7. I'm sure they'll come out with something. So what do you think? Do you agree with my views? Do you disagree? Let me know. Write in the comments below. And thank you. Have a great day. How should I end it?